Hey, what is going on, everybody? So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about all things Shatterstar. First off, I have a clip of my Red Star orb opening I want to share, which I did in my live stream when the patch went live, and with his event going live, that's a lot of live actually, I didn't intend to say that. With his event going up on Friday, I wanted to go over the Showstopper characters that you'll need to clear this event, which surprisingly is a little difficult for newer players. So, less so for mid and late game players, but I do want to go over which characters you can use for this. And finally, I do want to go over his kit, his base stats, which are quite surprisingly high, by the way, and what I think about him and the future of the X Factor team tag, with a brief nod to Longshot in this video as well, since they are likely released not far apart from each other. So without further ado, let's get this show started. Okay, so Shatterstar apparently is in the Red Star orb, so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to do some Red Star pulls for this live here on the stream here, and then we're going to get into some content, some war and some raid stuff, and then maybe we'll go back to the live PvP after that. So just trying to talking here. Let's take a drink of water really quick. What's left of it? I might have to go get another drink. So we are going to be doing some Shatterstar orbs pulls here. I am gonna just because I have the orbs to do it, we're gonna pull a handful of these milestone orbs, see if my seed is good or not. I actually do have some gold I need to spend to get another character up to 77, so we'll do this one time and one time only, and if we need to spend a little bit of gold to maybe improve our odds a little bit, we'll do so. So ideally, again, how this works is that we're looking for a gold drop or any I believe it's any Coulson in the orbs as well in the center would qualify. So we'll do, I think it's 10 orbs, right? And if it's really terrible, then you go and spend 400k, so they say. You know, I'm not really a firm believer myself, but I have these available, so hey, might as well to open. We'll do this one time, and then if it doesn't turn out well, we'll just go back into the Red Stars and we'll just do it. So didn't go so well there, so we're gonna, who do I have? I need to upgrade 77. I believe it's Phoenix. Phoenix is 76 here. Okay, that was only 300k. I need to do another 100k somewhere. I think Minerva also needs a level boost here, and Baron Zemo actually. But we're gonna go to Minerva here, and we're gonna do 100k, 110k, or whatever. Okay, so one more time, we're gonna pull some more milestone orbs, and then after that, if nothing happens, we're just gonna go straight into the Red Star orbs. I do have an Elite 4 that's prepared, but I'm not going to be using that on Shatterstar. I personally don't value him too high at the moment, so we'll do probably about 20 orbs or so, and we'll kind of, what we get is what we get. I'm not going to go too heavy on it. We're getting some better luck here, but not quite orange drops. I think we're just going to dive into the Red Stars probably at this point. You know what? I should have upgraded Merc Soldier. I should have started. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got a gold rank, but that's on the 9th pull. So I don't know if that's gonna you know what? Let's pull this Elite 4. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, guys. If not, we'll go back to the regular Red Stars and pull probably like 20 or so, depending on what we get. If we get a I don't know. We'll see. Pink, 4 Namor, definitely a dupe. More Elite 5 credits. Okay, we'll hold that over until probably, I don't know who I'm going to spend that on, this patch or not. Anyways, we have 89. I might pull down to 60. I might be willing to do that, but we'll see. I don't really value Shatterstar super highly at the moment, and I don't know where I would even use them. Pink, 4 Human Torch. That's a dupe, unfortunately. Okay. We will probably get a couple of Elite 4s here, actually. Here we go. 3. Aim Infector. 1 Shatterstar. Alright, well, we know he's in the orbs, but I believe someone pulled him earlier, so, yeah, that wasn't under debate, I guess. Got another blue. Come on, 3 Shatterstar? I might settle for a 3 Shatterstar, possibly. Let's one more, and then we get an Elite 4. Okay, Elite 4. And then we'll do, I don't know, we'll do like to 65 maybe, or the next Elite 4. Another Elite 4. Alright. 5 shield operative. 5 shield operative. You know, I would have liked like a 5 of anyone else that's not shield operative. Who gave me the bad luck? Well, actually, technically it's good luck, because it wasn't a 4, it was a 5, but I don't even use her. That was dumb. No, we're not upgrading you right now. Ugh. Okay, let's keep going. 3 Shatterstar. That's not bad. I'm gonna go to 65, because I'm actually okay with 3. Because I don't really have a load of huge plans for him right now, and I suspect by the time like he's in the Red Star store, if I really need to get him a 4, other X Factor characters might be out down the line, so I'm willing to wait for that. 2 Shatterstar. We'll go to 65, or we'll go to the next Elite 4, and then we'll pull that, and then we'll end it there. Almost everything's going to be a dupe. Basically, I need a 4 on a new character. Dupe. But looks like we're getting pretty close to that next Elite 4 anyways, though, at this rate. A 1 Shatterstar. So we've had Shatterstar like 3 or 4 times now. Ghost Rider. Come on, come on. No. Oh. 3 rescue, also a dupe. So we need exactly 2 more. Oh, this might get it, actually. 3 Ebony Mod, that's a dupe. Okay, so we're at 66. So we're going to open this last Elite 4. It could be Shatterstar, it could be someone else. Could be a 5 Elite Shield Operative, apparently. So we're going to pull this, and then we're going to end the Red Star pulls for Shatterstar. Again, not a super important character for me right now, in my opinion, but we're going to do this anyways. So, actually, it'll get us into Elite 5, but we're not going to pull the Elite 5. We're going to wait for a better character, I think. So, here we go. 5 Symbiote Spider-Man. Really great pull. That is a really great pull, but I already have him at 6. Good pull. Don't need it. I'm sure someone else in here definitely would have liked that, though. Definitely. That is a really good pull. Just not exactly what I was looking for. So that put us up at 60. That was a lot of Elite 5 credits there. That put us up to 6250 Elite 5s, but we're not going to be pulling that right now. Shatterstar isn't deserving of my Elite 5 Star Orb at this point, so that's the end of the Red Star segments here for Shatterstar. So what did we get? Well, we got a 3 Shatterstar, and we got a 5 Shield Operative. Was it worth it? Well, I mean, at least we got 3. So hey, you know, if I do have to use them at all, then we'll have at least that. But there we are. Alright guys, so to get things started, we need to look at the trait for the Showstopper, the Showstopper trait for the Shatterstar event. So let's filter that. So that's here, Showstopper, and you'll see going from the top anyways, that in terms of mid and end game characters, there's quite a bit available. We do have Proxima Midnight. If you're a really late game player, you know, I probably don't even need to explain this to you, and you're going to have it done no problem, because you have characters like Proxima Midnight, Thanos, Corvus Glaive. That's 3 out of 5 of the Black Order. You have Symbiote Spider-Man, you have Hela, Emma Frost, Invisible Woman. You know, there's some pretty good, Shuri, Minerva, a lot of mid-game, end-game choices, Captain Marvel. The problem is when you look at sort of who's available for the early game. So let's scroll to the bottom, because these are the characters I have least leveled, and there's a reason for that. So we do, if you're in the early game, the characters that you're probably going to have possibly or have available to you for this event: Deadpool, who is in the Arena store, Scarlet Witch, who's in the Blitz store, Black Widow, who is now farmable on Villains 1-9, Iron Man, again, unlockable through S.H.I.E.L.D., aka Wave 1 Avengers. A lot of those are also S.H.I.E.L.D. characters as well. And then Juggernaut, maybe. He is in the raid store. Mysterio, probably. He is an early game farm now as well. And then Quake, who is also in the arena store, right? I keep forgetting. She's in the arena store, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she is. So other than that, though, there isn't a lot. Maybe Groot as well. He isn't too far in. I think he's in I want to say Nexus 2.9. Is it? Yeah, Nexus 2.9. So he's not too bad. But other than that, there's probably about less than 10 characters you could choose from, assuming that you're a free-to-play early game player. So those that you'll have available to you probably include Deadpool, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, if you get him unlocked, Black Widow, probably not even a Quake, Mysterio, Juggernaut maybe, Quake, Groot maybe, and then maybe Captain Marvel, but she is Hero 6.9. That's further down the line. And depends on if you got lucky on any of these characters like Minerva. If you have Minerva, would be a great choice to get. And Emma Frost, if you're around for any of the Emma Frost milestones, then this would be another great character to include as well. But if you look at the rest of them, they are kind of quite a bit later. If you have even Symbiote Spider-Man in your roster, you probably don't need my help for this event, and you probably already have characters enough to use for this. But otherwise, you know, it's not a very great set of characters for the early game. There's like I said, less than 10 characters. Let's say you don't even have Minerva. You have maybe, let's go back over this again. So Quake, Groot, maybe Captain Marvel. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, Juggernaut, Mysterio, Black Widow, Deadpool, Scarlet Witch, and Iron Man. I think that's like a possible of 9 characters. So there's really not a lot to choose from. So what I would consider doing, Scarlet Witch, it does have the Avengers tag, so what I would consider doing, if you are an early game player and you do have Scarlet Witch and you do have Black Widow and you do have Iron Man, use those 3 together, because at least there's some semblance of synergy there. They are Avengers, so you're going to get the camouflage tech from the Avenger characters that apply speed up to self, all shield and Avenger allies, so that's quite nice. But other than that, I mean, you're really kind of at a loss, and it depends on what you've been leveling for your roster. So Juggernaut, if you've been leveling up Sinister Six, then you can include Mysterio. If you have Quake at all, you could use Quake. Quake is actually really good despite being a very old character. She does have 2-turn slow on her Seismic Blast, which I believe is available from level 4. So that's actually really good. So it's a 2-turn slow to primary and adjacent targets. So that's really good. And if you do have Captain Marvel, and if you do have her unlocked, I would definitely try to include her. Groot might be the only other real support character available to you if you don't have Minerva, and that's really going to depend on how lucky you've been in your orbs. So, you know, Groot is probably the only support character there that I can think of. I don't really consider Black Widow too much of a support. She's kind of like a controller with Mysterio, and I really don't think that if you're an early game player, you're going to have many of these other characters unlocked. So I would definitely recommend a combination of those. Try to include Groot or Captain Marvel if you can, if you have them. Otherwise, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, and choose 2 others and hope for the best. Obviously, we don't know how difficult the event is going to be, but I just wanted to point out that there isn't a lot of great options for the early game player. Like I said, no problems if you're in the mid or end game. You'll probably have most of these characters, or at least enough characters to make a team that you're not going to really struggle with. So I just wanted to point out that really quick before we do get on to the topic of Shatterstar's stats and his kit, and sort of what to look forward to with the X Factor team. So let's jump on over there. And here we are over on MSF.GG, which is, by the way, a very great resource for kit information, gear information, character information, and all that. MSF.GG. If you guys don't know about it, then you really should head on over here, and take a look at it. So it's really great. You can get to see all of the characters in the game. You can click on them, and it'll bring their character up here. So we have Shatterstar. This is what we're talking about in this video here. And we want to go over his kit really quickly here, because it's a lot easier to see his kit here when you don't have the character unlocked or you don't have them fully geared up, so you can see the actual all the kit stats here on each of the abilities without having to put ability material into it, because you can't really see it, or you'd have to math it yourself in the game. So here we are with Twin Blades. His basic attack, primary target for 200% damage, and bonus attack for 150 if Longshot's an ally, bonus attack for 150. So this is an additional bonus attack. I think this is like a 3rd attack. That's at level 7. So Longshot is going to be coming around at the same time roughly as Shatterstar. Shatterstar is coming out on Friday, but Longshot I think will be starting next Thursday's Blitz, I'm pretty sure. So it won't be too long until we get them both unlocked together as well. And Cross Slash here, attack all enemies for 240% piercing plus apply defense down to for 2 turns to the primary target. And this one's kind of a bit wonky here with MSF.GG. SFGG. This is grant ability energy. I believe it's 1 ability energy to a Longshot ally. And empathetic onslaught, his ultimate attack. Both of these attacks, by the way, are available on turn 1. But if they're being run by the AI, it's going to default to the ultimate most likely first. Attack primary target for 310%, and all this chain stuff here. But if Longshot is an ally, instead attack all enemies for this, plus apply defense up for 2 turns to self and X Factor allies. Currently, that's of course only going to be Shatterstar and Longshot, and you're really going to want to use these two together. I really don't see a reason why you would use Shatterstar on his own, but this ultimate really gets jumped up a lot when you have Longshot on the team. So make sure that you do if you are going to be using them, and I'm going to talk about a little bit later about what I think about the X Factor team as a whole, even though there's only 2 members. And his passive, which is pretty crazy actually, on self or ally crit, bury yourself and X Factor allies for 20% of this character's max health. So it's not even just his crit, it's allies crit as well. And it's also, it doesn't have to be an X Factor ally. However, it's only going to barrier. So the way that this works, and please correct me if anyone has a different interpretation of this. So to me, this sounds like if an ally who's not X Factor crits, it's going to barrier them as well on top of the other X Factor allies on the team. So it's at the very bare minimum going to barrier themselves and potentially Shatterstar. Well, it would have to be Shatterstar, assuming he's on the team. On turn heal for 20% of this character's max health. Now you do need the T4s in the passive to get this because you don't have it otherwise, and you actually, the barrier jumps up 10% and the crit damage, or no, sorry, it's just the barrier, I believe. Barrier up by 10% and the healing. Gain 25% crit damage and all allies gain 10% crit damage, and then all X Factor allies gain an additional 15% crit damage. So there's a lot of stuff here for X Factor and potentially non-X Factor carriers on the barrier part here, but to really talk about why this is going to be great with crit, I kind of need to talk about Longshot. So let's jump over to Longshot's page really quick here. I had this up here, and the only thing that you need Shatterstar for with Longshot is actually this basic attack, which bonuses attacks for 210% damage. Other than that, there's nothing else that specifically states Shatterstar, but I do want to look at his passive here. So this is Longshot's passive. On self or ally crit, again, doesn't have to be X Factor specific, fill speed bar by 20% for self and all X Factor allies. So again, I'm curious if this is like Shatterstar, if this is going to work for non-X Factor allies, and it'll fill the speed bar of non-X Factor allies, because it does say self, but maybe it's only going to fill, maybe by self this means Longshot or Shatterstar and doesn't mean them. For example, if Thanos were to crit and he was on the team, is he going to get 20% speed bar and 20% barrier, or is it just going to go to Longshot and Shatterstar instead? Not too sure. Might need some testing, or maybe I haven't watched all the videos of other content creators who have put out maybe potential videos with these characters. Please let me know in the comments down below if I'm right or if I'm wrong, or if the interpretation of this is wrong. Anyways, just like Shatterstar, he does have a 20% heal passive as well, which is really great, and I kind of see this team being a potential war defense team. With all this passive regen, this kind of screams as Guardians a little bit, the way that they had passive regeneration, and I'm wondering if this is going to be the same. Either way, there's a lot of crit chance that you're going to get from Longshot, which is crazy because this is a crit-based team. Tack on Raider ISO class, and this is going to be something pretty crazy. All X Factor allies gain an additional 15% crit. So on top of this, plus Raider, plus the 10% base crit chance, you're looking at probably about 45% perhaps crit, because you get 10% base, 15% with Longshot, and then I believe an extra 25 with Raider. So I guess that could be 50% possibly as well. Maybe I'm missing something here. Actually, all allies gain 10% crit chance, and then X Factor allies gain an additional. So is that 25 then, if they're X Factor? So 25 plus 10 base, plus another 25 from Raider, that's like 60%, so that's really crazy. I could see some other characters coming to the game like Polaris and Havoc possibly down the line, and Richter was actually mentioned in one of the background text things on the game, so we'll have to see what kind of kits that they have. But let's look at the character stats, because that's another thing I want to finish off with here, and the base stats of the characters are quite interesting. So MSF.GG has this really nice stat table where you can take a look at all those. Now I've kind of sorted this here by damage, so these these are all the characters by damage, and you can see that on the top obviously is Dr. Doom, Black Bolt, these kind of characters here. But if you scroll down a little bit further, you do get to Shatterstar, which is around here. So Shatterstar has a damage stat, and keep in mind this is actually at 7 yellow, 5 red, level 75, gear tier 14. This isn't 80, gear tier 15. Either way, the stats would line up relatively the same anyways for the characters, but let's jump back down to Shatterstar here. So he actually has the same damage stat as characters like America Chavez and Corvus Glaive. So Corvus Glaive is a pretty big hitter as well, who is based on crit too. So I could imagine that Shatterstar is going to be quite a powerhouse if you have him properly built, if you have some good red stars on him, that he could actually be really good. And his hit points is actually much higher than Corvus's. So you see 166k for Corvus and 254 for Shatterstar. So if you were to range this by health, you know, Shatterstar is actually pretty good. You know, he's in the top 15 or so, I think, on terms of hit points, and considering he's not a tank, that's actually really good. So it's kind of up there with Green Goblin. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is that the stats for Longshot, for Shatterstar is pretty good, and going across the way as well. Let's go back down to Shatterstar here again, and you know, he has some really good base stats between health and his damage stat. That's very good, and that's very solid for a character. And all we know is Shatterstar and Longshot, and obviously there's going to be 3 more characters down the line. Probably going to be in February. That's going to be the patch with Jubilee, who's going to be coming down the line, and whoever the next Astonishing X-Men, I suspect we're going to have, it's going to be another mutant patch probably for 5.1, which is going to be in February time. But I am very looking forward to X Factor, probably more than I'm looking forward to the Astonishing X-Men. I think that X Factor could be a more well-rounded team. That they're going to have the 20% regeneration, which is going to be quite beefy, and I imagine the rest of the team is probably going to have that if both Shatterstar and Longshot have it. I would kind of assume that they're all going to have it. Possibly, you know, let's hypothetically, one of the characters has on crit, you know, heal the team, or on crit, if Polaris is on there, maybe on crit, blind the enemy. You know, like, there's some really good potential for on crit mechanics that could happen. And granted, there is some RNG elements in that. I think there is some really big potential for this team. So let me know what you guys think about X Factor and whether or not I'm crazy or not. I actually do plan on building Shatterstar and coring the event. Originally, I was saying that no, I wasn't going to really involve myself in the Shatterstar event much when it comes to cores, but actually I've turned over a leaf when it comes to this team, and I think I'm actually going to put some gear into this. But let me know what you guys think about both about Shatterstar, his event, and the X Factor team and them coming up. But that's the end of this video, guys, and of course, until next time, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Boylon signing out.